guy who wants a big Dovii. So Salvador went and got this. And he just came in from out. Whoa! He just came in from outside. Hey everybody, we're up here early in the morning packing a few fish, but wanted to bring you out here. Remember we talked before about our cold water prep. That's why we've got the thing around the farm. But you'll notice back here how foggy it is. This is exactly what we want. We do not want air blowing the heat off. So this is perfect. Now if you hear that hum in the background, we've got our one of our diesel pumps on. On a night like this, we pump the water up and it comes out of the ground about 72, 73, 74. And it helps it sink. So we've had 3-4 constant 41, 42 degree mornings, so that's not great. But because of what we do, put the black plastic up on the northwest side, we get that right there, which is perfect. That means all the heat is staying right here on the farm. Check in to make sure everything's okay, water's fine, it's cold. This whole area is covered, all 4 sides. But this is smaller vat water, so we do that extra. So it was a cold morning. I think Glenn's got some pictures of foggy conditions, like a cemetery, but he told me that our kendallis bred about 48 hours ago, so we're gonna go in here and see if we can coax the female out of the cave she's in, and we've been told a way to do it, so we're gonna give it a try. If that doesn't work, we're gonna give it another try, because we wanna move the container away from the fish, because last time we left it and either they weren't fertilized and they ate them, or they freaked out and ate them anyway. But they've only been set up here for a while, and I think Glenn said he got a picture of these Khalees's breeding, and they're just, oh my goodness, they're just amazing. We're going to set up 150.
Yep.
150 gallon?
125.
Because every one of those males will be flashing for the females. And this guy back in the back, I think he might be the best breeder, but every time something comes around him, he's just going at it, so they're very nice. But anyway, here's the kendalli. Now, we've been told that if we will take that container where the eggs are, and she's in there with it, and she's actively fanning the eggs. So we're going to move this to another, what we're going to do right now. Now, if she runs out of there, I'm going to do it right now. But we've been told...
Yeah, go ahead.
We've been told to take, do I take the brick off too?
Yep.
If we take this and set it down.
So set that one down. Take the brick off.
Okay, I don't want this. Oh, shit.
Oh, and she went out. So
good.
You know what?
This is even better.
Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But guess what?
What?
I don't have a big bucket.
Well, I'm just going to hold the thing up, and then
you're good.
I can carry it over full of water.
Yep.
So we're going to.
So the concept that we were attempting to do here, folks, we were going to. One of our very good friends and breeder of these fish, his way to do this was to put an empty cave below the active cave that has eggs in it, and that the female would come out of the active cave and go below, simply because their behavior, tells them to always stay towards the bottom. So that was the concept. But anyway, so now Rick is getting ready to lift this one out of this tank, and then we're going to walk over to the warehouse where we have a 22-gallon tank set up.
Is that about how it was, Glenn?
Yep, that looks good. I can see in.
And we want to, we're hoping these are fertilized. They've been set up. You watched us set them up. But sometimes, and the male was actively hanging around. So sometimes the first couple times after they're newly set up, they don't. They're not fertile, or they just don't, male doesn't participate, or, there's little babies in here.
Yep.
So, well, if we have another spawn in there, they're going to eat every baby in there.
Well, you know what I was thinking?
We gotta move
they're
that
probably they're probably not spawning because there are babies.
Well, we
Just
gotta
a thought.
we gotta move that. That we gotta move. Glenn, are those rocks in their eggs?
Rocks.
Well, we better do something because they're not going to breed. I do not think. Okay, here we go. Now, what we're going to do?
I'm going to close this. Walk that way.
It's warm.
It is.
What we've got set up over here, and it's really loud in the warehouse, so maybe we'll talk about it now. Well, you can watch us do it, but we're going to set these up in a tank. And the reason it's so loud is because we got that pump running in the back, and it's just beating the water in there. We're going to set this up in the tank, and then we've got a little water hose going. Be careful, back it up. Water hose going that we set up on a valve. We're going to try to simulate what the female's doing with her fins. She passes over them and fins. A lot of people try to raise these eggs just with air. Well, that's not what the eggs are used to in the wild. So here we go. Do you have that set up in there?
Yep.
Now we're going to set these up. I'm kind of yelling. Let me tell you something else, Glenn. This tank is probably 2 to 3 degrees warmer. So maybe we ought to go next door and hook up a little more. I want to see how this thing's blowing. Is it air? You think that's too much?
Yeah, so what Rick is trying to show is, if you see this air hose, we actually have that hooked up to water. So Rick is checking to see how much flow is. Again, the concept, because the mother fish is no longer going to be in covering the eggs, we have this little bitty black nozzle on the edge of the green hose that's going to force a very, very small stream of water into the thing. And if I can get my flashlight out, I'll...
So what this is going to simulate, again, is the female moving the water over the air. You can see it moving in there. And what happens is, that's going to keep minimal, if there's any fungusy stuff that will sit on top of the eggs, or... Now, the only thing we can't do is that if the female that was taking care of these would, if we left them and she took care of them, she might pick out or pick off any of the unfertile eggs that didn't hatch.
Date and time. So we're going to mark the glass
Kendalli,
with the date and times with the species. Normally we have tape, but we'll just mark it real quick so the boys don't accidentally move something in here.
And we do not want them to feed these yet.
No.
Now we also have an air stone in there just to keep that water piled up. Now, Glenn, you know when the pump goes off, you're going to have to come here
we'll readjust
and test it again.
So what Rick was talking about the pump, right now we have a diesel auxiliary pump because of the cold weather, it basically pushes, 30% more water volume to all of the vaults outside
This is a lot more than we normally have.
Yeah.
I mean, so we don't need this much in here, but once we crank that thing on, we really don't run around and adjust anything. We just let it add to it. And so it's done a great job. It's been running since, what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
It burns about, 25 gallons a day or less? 20?
Yeah.
It's a 21 horsepower diesel Azusa. What'd you bring in, Salvador? Right here, big one? Holy moly. Salvador, can we get it up top? Look at it. This Salvador. There's a guy who wants a big dovii, so Salvador went and got this, and he just came in from out. Whoa! He just came in from outside. He just took the pipe out.
You're gonna need a bigger tank.
You got an empty tank in our area, Glenn?
Yeah, the one we were using for temperature
Okay.
control.
Let's get him, let's put him in a bucket.
There's one with the scraper standing up.
With the
Inside
tank with
the
the
tank.
scraper in it is empty.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn thought it might be a good idea come over here and take a look where Salvador put this big dovii, and I'm going to put this bucket in there with it, and we're going to take a look at it. Try to get an idea of the size of it. The guy said he wanted a 20-inch one, and that might be real close. I mean, we have them bigger on the farm, but they get so snaggly looking. They've been fighting and whatever. So let's see what we got here. He didn't put it exactly where we wanted it, but it's still okay, and I don't want them to beat, I don't want to get water all over me. So let's try to be calm. Calm. Very calm. Calm, fish. You hear me talking? Okay.
You're the fish whisperer.
That's right.
Wow, that thing is
He is
huge.
being
I
calm.
want to say he's at least 18 inches. What do you think?
Yeah, but he's getting ready to flip.
Here, hold the camera.
Okay.
And a US dollar bill measures approximately, well, it measures 6 inches. So
Yep.
let's measure him. So I'm going to go from his lip to the back of the fin. So that's 6. That's 12, which is that dot there. 12, that's 18, 19, yeah. So that's a 20 inch.
I'm going to back up a little bit in case he
Monster.
goes crazy. His tail looks a little split, but that will
And
repair.
He's 6 inches, probably
7, 8
if you
inches.
take his fin into consideration. He's
Look at those
6.
blue. This is the. I think this is the Nicaraguan one. I can't say that word very well, but they have the green fins. Look at that head hump on it.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
But anyway, I'm going to put a big bucket in there with him.
Yeah, Dave actually sleeps in a bucket,
Yep.
an upside down bucket.
Yep.
It's funny. He
Dave
goes
the
and
dove. You know what's really sad?
hides.
We have not gotten Dave a female.
Well, he's got he's got a big rhino buddy,
Oh, well,
rhino
that's,
pleco in there with
well,
him.
you know, I think a rhino and a dove-eye combination is not going to make it.
So what Rick is adding a little bit of rock salt, which is just like water softener salt, but
Yeah.
because
Salt
the
is great.
boys caught this big dovie outside, and it looked like 1 or 2 of his scales may have lifted. So a little bit of salt helps them.
Salt is wonderful. Do you turn it
Helps
like
them
that, or
produce
you
slime.
upside down?
Well, personally, I'll take the bucket and I'll put just a tad bit of air in it, and then tilt it like that to where it floats. So it's just has a little bit, and then he'll go up inside
Cool.
that little
Cool.
cave.
I'm going to throw 2 little ones in there on the bottom while he's getting used to the tank, so he can just kind of feel. Because probably where he came from was pretty, you know, isolated. He didn't have to. Did I bang on that pipe? By banging on the pipe, we want to make sure if he freaks out.
Yeah, he's not coming out.
He's
We
not
have
coming
definitely have to cover it because we've got some beautiful trets in this tank next door. There's
yeah.
some
Yeah,
bucos
yeah.
in that one. So if he
Yeah.
gets out, he would have a
Field day.
buffet.
A buffet. Anyway, thanks again for visiting with us.
Absolutely.
And hope you subscribe and comment.
And our thoughts and prayers to everyone in California and everyone
Yes,
dealing with the
yes.
cold weather. It's just a lot going on in the world, and you know,
Yeah.
we
Those people in
our
California,
prayers
I
are with
can't
everyone.
believe
Yeah.
them. All right, everybody, have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.